We borrow £10,000 from a bank. The annual rate of interest is 6%. So the monthly rate of interest is the annual rate, B3, divided by 12, which is 0.5%. We decide to pay back this loan over 12 months. We need to calculate the monthly payment. The problem is that every time we pay back a part of the loan, the amount of interest changes because we've paid back part of the capital. But we want the monthly payment to remain the same. Now in mathematics, a formula has been created to deal with this, and here's the formula. C is the monthly payment, R is the monthly rate, P is the amount of money that was borrowed, and N is the number of periods. So to calculate the monthly payment, we could enter into cell B6 values corresponding to this formula. As you can see, this is quite complicated. So Excel has a formula that allows us to calculate this very easily, and the formula is called PMT. We can find this formula by clicking on FX, select the financial formulas category and scroll down, and here's our formula. So Excel helpfully gives us some information about each part of the formula. The rate will be the monthly rate in this case, so that will equal the value in cell B4. The number of periods is 12, which is the value in B5. The present value is the amount of money that's been borrowed, so that's the number in B2. The future value is 0 because we want by the end of the 12 months to have reduced the loan to 0. And the type of repayment is either 1 or 0. If you pay at the end of the month, then the value is 0. If you pay at the beginning of the month, the value is 1. And this gives us our monthly repayment of £860.66. The reason why it's red is because this is, and the reason why it's negative is because this is a payment out of our account. I want to borrow some money and pay back the amount borrowed plus interest over a period of 12 months. I want each monthly repayment to be the same, and I want to calculate the maximum amount I can borrow for any given monthly payment. So for example here, my monthly payment is £100, 12 payments of £100. This would mean I could borrow £1,161.89. So how is this calculated? In mathematics, we have this formula that will give us the repayment for any amount borrowed at any rate of interest for any number of periods. We can rearrange this formula and put the formula in this cell. And then we can change the amount borrowed here and see what the maximum loan that can be afforded on the basis of £200 every month for 12 months. So I can change it automatically with this slider, and we can see that this works quite well. The formula is quite complicated and difficult to remember, so Excel have built it into the software. The formula is called PV, or present value. This name signifies that we are calculating the value now at the present moment of a series of future payments. I've put here a maximum monthly payment of £100. It's negative because it's money going out of our accounts. And the formula to work out the maximum I can borrow for this amount each month, we will enter here. We select our formula list, select financial, and scroll down to find PV. Again, we have a series of boxes and some helpful information at the bottom explaining the entry for each of the boxes. So the rate is the rate per period, so in this case it will be the value in B4. The number of periods in this case is 12. The payment that we can afford is in B2. The future value will be 0 because this series of payments will cancel out eventually the money that was borrowed. Again, the type can be 1 or 0. We will choose 0 to show that each payment is at the end of the month. We say OK, and we get the same value as before for a payment of £100 a month. If we change this to 200, each time 1,000 if we're rich, and so for example a monthly payment of £1,000 at an annual rate of interest of 6% over 12 months means I can borrow up to £11,618.93, paying at the end of the month. And of course the interest rate must not change over the 12-month period. If I want to pay at the beginning of the month, then in the formula here I just have to change this number to 1. So I will just show the difference in the calculation. So if I'm prepared to pay at the beginning of each month, then the maximum I can borrow is a little bit more.